Hi, my name is Mark Loupe from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, more or less Prairieville, Louisiana, a little bit south toward New Orleans. This is my 65 Ford Econoline. It's done completely, top to bottom. We have a 302 instead of the inline 6 we used to have in there. Automatic overdrive, everything is on the inside has been redone. We have air conditioning, cruise control, so it's got all your, I guess, updates on it for traveling. We did a little stuff on the outside. We didn't change the outside appearance that much cosmetically, but we did do a different grille, different little push bar setup here. And we got some of the modern stuff, but mainly the outside of the van when it's closed up is still your 65 Econoline shell. Inside, we have a lot of different stuff, but Victory Red is the color with black primers, gets a little bit darker appearance. We like to call it Journey. Kind of originated, I do like the band Journey, but 1971 I got my first van, which was a 72 Ford Econoline. 5 years later, we got a 77. It was called the Mayflower. We did the tour with it, won the national championship in Las Vegas in 1980. I sold that van in 82, and it kind of went through a couple of hands, a couple of friends of mine. Now, Jeff Dunham, the comedian, owns that van, and it still looks just as good as it did then. Getting back to the story of the Journey, after the 82, when I sold the van, we built a couple of different other cars, and I had a few business things I had to get taken care of too. But found this van 10 years ago, right at 11 years ago, and decided I wanted to do another van. So I figured I'm going from the first van I did, kind of made a circle, kind of like a journey, and that's where that name originated from. So that's what we called it right now. In the front here, we happened to be riding behind a car one day, and on the back of the car, there was a Journey emblem. And I started looking at it, I said, well, that's nice. It's almost the same lettering I have on the inside of the van, and it came off of a Dodge Journey. So I ordered the Journey decals, or emblems if you want to call them, and we put those on there, and a bunch of people think we had them custom made for it. So that's where those come from. These are the stock badges, we kept those. The mirrors, I wasn't happy with any mirrors that came on the Econolines. So these are off of the old Volkswagen buses. And they do have a real nice look to them, and they're very adjustable, and they're strong. So we went with those mirrors on it. The glass we got from Auto City Classics. It's already tinted in the glass, so it was custom made. And then we did find an original set of vent shades still in the box in the wax paper. Wow. On eBay of all places. So we found those, we bought those, and got all new rubbers all the way around it. Every rubber on the van is redone. We stayed with the stock handles on the front because it's easier for people to close the doors. We do have electric door locks and electric windows. The windows work actually really well. So all that's electric now. All right, on the outside of the van, again, we went with Victory Red. We changed a few things. The tank also used to be in the back of these vans. We moved the tank, it's a side saddle tank now. We still have the same filler because we liked the little indention in the side, so we wanted to stay with that. So the neck's in the same position. We went with rocket wheels. We got comp tires on it, comp TA tires on it. 18s on the back, 17s on the front. We lowered it just a little, a couple of inches. We didn't go any lower than that. We're still on the stock suspension, but yet everything clears. We got 50 Pontiac taillights in it. And in the back, we kind of went with a kind of a different exhaust. We come out right on the side of license plates. That's our exhaust.
Bumper?
bumper. We made bumperettes for it. We made those out of some 1-inch by 3-inch square tubing. Kind of an inexpensive way to do it, but that's what we chose. We do have a backup camera we made up here because we don't have any windows in the van, so in the back. We kind of built a little custom fin there and installed it in there. The doors, we took the handles off the side and the rear doors and we put bear claws with poppers on them.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of cleaned it up because the old handles kind of vibrated crooked and all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they all do that.
Yeah, they do. The older ones like that for sure.
Custom knob over here, I love that.
Custom knob, we just took the handle off the inside and we made it where your deadbolt still works. You know,
That's
so
cool, yeah. Love that.
we did that and we built the door jambs. These door jambs used to be recessed. We built them out and that's all steel. We did that because of the bear claws. You kind of had to have those for the latches.
Oh, okay.
And the side and the rears are both done that way. And we did the wireless exchange, you know, where you have the
Oh, yeah, the pins.
the contact.
Yeah, the contact pins, yeah. Excellent.
On the interior here, we decided to go with wood door panels and leather. On the leather, we took it and just kind of countersunk some areas to give it some shape. All the door handles are built in and they're made into the door, but when you pull, you're actually pulling on the metal part of the door and not just the wood. We have electric door locks. The door handles are new, but they're off of a Rolls Royce. We found a wrecked Rolls Royce, so we took the door handles off and made them fit into what we had here instead of the old open and close handles. And of course, we have speakers. I molded the speakers into the bottom of the doors to make them easier to mount and kind of give it a built-in look. And you got the little tweets up top here.
Oh, yeah.
And then as we go to the inside here, okay, the dash is all Dakota digital. All your gauges, I kind of went with the old school look, but it's still digital. And a Pioneer head in it for the stereo, where the backup camera can also come on it. We have vintage air conditioner installed. That's what the plate is underneath the dash that we built to cover the air conditioner with little holes in it. That way you can't see the unit. Glove box is original. It's not too much room in there because the air conditioner kind of comes up behind it. But it's all still the same dash. We just countersunk the wood in it and kind of molded the wood to fit it. Your steering column over here is from I Did It Customs. It's a tilt steering unit. The old units used to go straight down kind of between your legs. So what we did, we went all the way to the front of the van with the unit. We made a chain drive system to where it's on sprockets and a hoist chain, and it comes back to the original steering box, chain driven, so it's out of your legs and all.
Wow.
So all that's been custom, and it kind of helps get rid of all the room, especially for tall people. You know, you'd have trouble getting in the old one. As far as the bottom down here, we made a tunnel where the shifter is and the emergency brakes. It's got a knob on it. You can open close a vent to get more air into the engine compartment.
Oh,
that's kind of custom, kind of a little custom touch there. And so that's pretty much it up front here. Up top is where all your controls are for the van. That's all wood that's been tongue and grooved and curved to fit the curvature I was looking for. Also leather. We have hidden compartments, I guess you could say, for your glasses and different stuff like that. Those are all built into the wood. And, of course, all your lighted switches up there. They're all dimmable in case it's too bright at night. Okay, and on the other side, over the passenger door, there's a little light up there. That is also out of the passenger side of the Rolls Royce. I just put the little blue switches in it to turn them on and off. I have one of those over each door. So we kind of utilized some more of the Rolls Royce in there. On this side, the actual console pretty much mirrors the driver's side. Of course, we don't have as much switches and all, but you do have door locks and you do have your windows over here. I put the little LEDs just to kind of, it needed some other stuff over here. And the leather, I don't know if we can see it real good on camera here, but the leather is also grooved and recessed in here to match the wood ceiling in the back, which you'll see later. That's the console, and if you look on top of the engine cover here, which kind of goes with that, is our drink tray and little whatnot tray here. And that's pretty much the only place you have a spot to put a drink tray that's kind of where you can utilize extra space.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what that is here, and that pretty much takes care of the console area up here. The seats in the van, we took in, we have Mustang seats. I can't remember the year model, I think they're 93s. We cut them up a little bit to make them skinnier, and took some of the padding out the actual seat bottom because it's harder to get in and out with those wings on it, I guess you call them. And that's Ford King Ranch leather we used all over the van. It's kind of a unfinished type leather, so it does kind of get stress and scratches, which I was trying to achieve to go with the wood look. And we made some kind of little bottom pieces to cover the brackets. We did hand make the brackets to make them fit a little bit lower, which made it a lot easier to drive it. Then we go to, the motor is actually a 302. It's a roller motor. We didn't do any increase in horsepower or nothing, but we have Edelbrock carburetor on it. We did some MSD on it. It is air conditioned. We have the regular radiator. We put a coolant radiator in it, but we have a regular mechanical fan that pulls. On the front, we also have a pusher that I operate when I turn the air conditioner on, or if we're in a lot of traffic. On the top of the radiator, there, you'll see like a little plenum thing. What we did is we put a Volkswagen squirrel cage blower in the front of the van underneath that takes cool air and blows into the engine compartment while you're driving, and when you kill it, it runs for 5 minutes after you kill the motor to take and blow some of the gas fumes and hot air out of the compartment while it's sitting. That really helped a lot. It doesn't sound like it, but it was a big deal, and it does blow cool air to your carburetor while you're in traffic, you know, so that helps it run a little bit nicer too. The box that the motor is in, of course, was a little bit skinnier because it was for a 6-cylinder. We took and widened the floor and the box 4 inches to clear the headers and make it a little bit cooler down there. It's sprayed with a lizard skin, 1/4 inch thick insulation, covered with NASCAR. The silver insulation is a NASCAR film that we put on top of that. So the box stays relatively cool. It gets warm, but not nothing like it used to. Vans open so easy with the poppers like that. That's why we put them in. And the doors are so clean without the handles on them, and everybody loves the way they close.
Wow. Yeah. Nice.
On the interior here, of course, we did all solid wood and leather on the inside. It's kind of a hobby of mine. My second van, which was the Mayflower in the middle, he'll show you in a second, was all done in wood, like a ship. And so what we did, we started with the black van in 1971. That's the story I said earlier. That was my first van. We sold it in 77. We bought the orange one in the middle. That was my second van. I kept it until 82. And then kind of got away from vehicles for a while there as far as vans, and we did some Volkswagens and a few other different kinds of cars. And 10 years ago, I spotted a van like this one and tried to get a guy to sell it to me. He wouldn't sell it. So we started hunting one. I found this one in Austin, Texas. We went, got it, and it was a mess. And we built it. It took 7 years, a total of 7 years to get it like it is now. 1 year total on the interior. But we did, sitting around one day, I got to thinking about the story, started with the van and then came all the way back to it again, and that's where the journey came from, as I said earlier. But what we did, we went back with wood, since it's a hobby of mine and it's kind of creative. And it's pine, it's all pine. It was all built, everything fitted, the columns, the everything. And what we did, we built everything out of the wood, and we took it back out and we burnt everything. Everything's been burnt with a torch. That's why when you see the screw holes, you got the dark spots. That's to kind of mimic old wood that has rusty nails and it spreads the rust.
Nice.
So we did that, but everywhere you see grains that's dark, we burnt it to bring that grain out. Then we stained it, then we sealed it with polyurethane, and then everything was put back in the van. So everything was in and out multiple times. But everything's hand built. The sculpturing for the speakers, you know, we sculptured them out and sunk the speakers in. All your beams on the inside, those are all hand built. Even the lights that you see in the ceiling, I made those out of mirror by sandblasting the back of them and doing the different color lights in there, and also painting the red strip down the middle, just like I did the Journey sign. That's made with mirror too, cut out from the back and blasted. So all that's been hand done. Even the little slats in the archway is all hand done. We did take and put shoulder harness seat belts in it. That was a must, and we built those into the wall. The seat belts used to have the little lap belts in it. We took it and went a little further, and when we installed the shoulder harnesses, they're built into the wall just like your modern cars, and we did some little trim work there. So that makes you feel a little bit safer when you're looking at what they always said, you're the first one to the wreck in these things. So. And then a little guitar, I made that just to kind of the thing to throw in here. It's called a Journey, Fender Journey is what it's called. It's a scale model of a Fender Stratocaster.
Nice. And then you get nice carpeting on the floor.
We got some nice carpeting. We made the leather trim pieces,
Oh yeah. Okay.
covered metal.
Oh, that's leather. I thought it was wood. Okay,
It's
yeah.
covered with leather, and it.
Excellent.
Okay.
Beautiful.
On the sign we went with a little saying there. Life is a journey, but it's all about the ride. It kind of goes, I think, with everybody that has anything to do with cars. I mean, it's kind of true. And as you can see what we did with the motor box. I think we may have missed that earlier. I did leather, and then in the bottom part where you may kick it or it gets a little bit hotter, I did carpet, and I did a metal trim that I made and covered with leather to kind of separate the two. It also has a small foam underneath the leather, which even gives you a little bit more insulation. Oh, we can't forget, over here, we have a Chip Booth signature from overhauling. He happened to come to Baton Rouge to a little school, what you call a little tech school, for BASF was sponsoring. He came and he signed it on there, which was pretty cool. And we also did a little step leather on there. And that's just little storage stuff, and it also hides my amp under the seat. In the back here, we have cabinets back here, and they're pretty much functional. We have just storage we keep in here. Of course, we got lights. I keep my towels, and I got my duster in here I keep, and stuff I buy at the show, of course. That closes down, and then I bought 2 chairs, and I built the cabinet around the 2 chairs. So if we go somewhere and we don't bring our big chair, I always have 2 chairs in here. This one got a vacuum cleaner, and of course my hat here. You got to have the little van on a hat, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's my outdoor attire. And then over here you basically have the same thing. The storage.
House for shower and that, yeah.
This is a little bit different, but it mimics that side over there as far as looks. But what it is, it's pretty functional as far as if I ever get it open.
Oh, there you go.
You
Well,
got battery.
You gotta have all that.
Battery, tools. I got a real size spare, but it's skinny. And the air hose right there, I have an air tank under the van, and that hose fits to all the tires. So if something happens, low tire pressure, whatever, or if a friend needs some help,
Great idea.
but everything is in there. So
Great idea.
so that's what that is.
Nice to meet you.
And
Now, you were saying, how long did it take you to in and out?
in and out was 7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
Wow.
Now that's the underside is just like this too, but everything on it's been hand built. The exhaust, the motor mounts, the transmission mounts. It's got a drive shaft hoop. Everything is built under there.
You got your battery tender under the van there?
I have a trolling motor plug made into the frame, so all I have to do is plug it in, even at home. What I did is, since it's got poppers on it, if the battery goes dead for some reason, you can't open the back doors, there's charge lugs underneath it. So you don't have to try to get in the van. You can just put jumper cables on the charge lugs if you wanted to, and you could use the poppers. But I also have these there's an emergency hole right here, and there's a thing, you stick a wrench in it and turn it, and it'll pop the doors too.
Okay.
So, I tried to think as much as I could when I did it. So.
Let's paint both of them. Okay, now best interior. Second place goes to, this is the first time I saw this van too, it's Journey by Mark Loupe. And this is that sweet Ford back there in the back, very back row. And he was one of the first ones to come in this year. From all the way from Nolens, Louisiana, him and his brother, Baton Rouge. Now we have Best of Show. For Best of Show, you get this plaque, and we also have a banner for Best of Show. But the Best of Show, and I kind of felt this way from the minute I saw it, really, but Mark Loupe with Journey, that sweet Ford back there, man. I mean, it's just incredible craftsmanship, incredible workmanship. A little history about Mark, too, is he built the Mayflower van that is now owned by Jeff Dunham. And he built it a long time ago. Is that right, Mark? Yep. And so Mark has been doing this for a long time. I guess Mark had a conversion shop way back in the day and built this stuff professionally and then got a real job with real pay. Longest distance. This guy came from, not New Orleans, came from Baton Rouge. Mark Loupe with the Journey, and it's not about the travel, it's about the journey, baby. He's sweeping, he's sweeping. Congratulations, Mark. Thank you for coming so far. Man, oh man. Also, Mark made a donation to Vanarama for the cause for next year. Appreciate it, Mark, so much. Thank you.
I could do